Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with the 40 Years of Mills and Boon, and this is called The Rake Secret Son. It's still in the Regency Candlelit Christmas novellas, and it's by Burrows, and this one is just messed up. Right, before Colton Tiddeston left Nell, the rebellious Rake broke her heart. Now he's back just in time for Christmas, and Nell can't hide her secret any longer. Colton's the father of her son. Oh god, okay. Okay, alright, so it starts off with a typical kind of village, okay, right. And it starts off with Harry Tiddeston, right, who's basically getting teased at school because he's he's illegitimate, okay, right. It was just 2 weeks to Christmas, and at Sunday school they learned all about the coming of the Christ child. Mary was going to have a baby, but it was not her husband's, Reverend Brian had said. Some of the older boys had sniggered and looked at him, and on the way home had begun to make nasty remarks about his mother. He tried to make them stop, there were too many of them. All of them figured they were better than him because they had a proper ma and pa, most of them married in this very church. Okay, so Harry is basically being teased because he is illegitimate. Okay, and then lo and behold, okay, there's a knock at the door, and it's his dad, Colton, who was a lord. Okay, high up, and due to his comments, his errors, Nell, or Helen, she actually has two names, people refer to her as Nell and Helen, quite, it gets a bit confused here about what's going on. And he suddenly appears on the doorstep. He's been seemed dead, okay, for 5 years, okay? Right. They told her Colton was dead 5 years ago. There'd been a letter saying he'd been hanged as a spy in some town in Portugal. She's not even tried to pronounce. Because, no, he wasn't. Someone actually died in his place. It was done for spying. He wasn't a spy. It was all a big mix-up, okay? Someone got hung in his place instead, and he spent 5 years trying to get back to the country to claim his birthright because his cousin, Peregrine, took over the estate in his stead, okay? And she now starts to basically like clean him up. He's in a bit of a rag state. And when you find out what his actions are, I now just tries to do the best, okay? Basically, right. Right. Go to the pump and fetch some water and a cloth, he said in a tremulous voice, write a pen and note for you take to the squire. Though disapproving heartily of her, the squire would make sure the letter got to the Viscount Lambourne, her landlord, especially if she marked it urgent. For it was urgent that someone should come and collect Carlton, given the care she was so ill-equipped to provide, and storm to his proper sphere, where neither she nor her son belonged. Okay, right. So, whilst Nell, or Helen, okay, is clean him up, Viscount Lambourne comes in. But the thing is, Carlton is Viscount Lambourne, this is Peregrine, okay, who is horrible to Nell, essentially calls her a whore. Right. Right. The man in there could not be Viscount Lambourne. He was Viscount Lambourne. At least he would. At least he wasn't who had been the last time he was in England. Right. Right. But the man called her Viscount Lambourne was so saturated with rage he was imperious to the appeal in the woman's eyes. Seized pacing, banged his fist down hard on the table, making her flinch. Right. Basically, his cousin Peregrine is going to kick Nell out if he doesn't do what he wants. And what Peregrine wants is for Nell, now finding out the real Viscount Lambourne is back, so they're restoring everyone to their rightful place. She wants Nell to poison her husband. Right. And I like the fact, okay, that it does it at Christmas. Right, yeah, here we go. Right. The man who called himself Viscount Lambourne was an utter disgrace to the name, threatening to evict a woman and a child no matter what the season. So who was he? Right. The next in line, he recalled business cousin Peregrine. Yep. Right. So whilst Colton is looking through a window with Harry, his son, he's overhearing Peregrine say to Nell, poison him. Right. 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 And this bit here. Perhaps I've been as generous with you in the past as I might have been. Perrin's voice took on a weeding tone. Perhaps if I could do something for the boy. Is that what you really want, is it not? How would it be if I promised that if you take care of this for me, I'll also take care of your boy? Provide him with the very best education, stand sponsored with his stars in the profession. Think of what that would mean for him. Right. Right. And the fact is, that this bit here, you're Colton, Tillis and Aunt do hay bit out, the Viscount before that one. You're my father. Okay, right. This bit here. I'll return a few days when I obtain some poison. Quote my Christmas present to you, Helena. Helena now, whatever. Okay, so what happened was that Colton thinks that Nell was pregnant, basically pregnant when they got married. Um, Harry is not her son, and now that he's back, his cousin Peregrine wants Nell to poison the real Viscount, and no one knows about this. And the fact is, they try to get the people involved, and they basically don't believe it, and call her a whore because obviously it's that kind of thing. And I like the fact that Colton's a dick. Colton's a freaking dick. And does not deserve this bullshit. Anyway, if he did get to safety, where would that leave her? Peregrine would be furious with her for thwarting him, and his wraith would fall on her and Harry. A stomach lurch as she considered what her options seemed to be. Murder her husband or face eviction. Oh yeah, of course she's going to murder a bloody husband. Yeah, of course she's going to murder her husband. Right. And the fact is that Colton now is back seems to like, oh my god, he is my son, he is my son. The boy is mine. The moment I kept eyes on him, I sensed. Now more than ever, I need to understand why you're not up at Lambourne House. This is where my son needs to be growing up. With several tutors and decent clothes on his back, not these regular swimming today. What have you hidden him away here, Helena? It's because you who looks like me, is that it? You're punishing the son for his father's sins. Okay? Right, no. You see, what happened was, right, this bit here, okay, is that it was before their marriage. Coffin got into his head that Nell was seduced by someone else, okay? And the fact is, he basically says, I've got no memory of sleeping with you. It turns out, no, he did. Essentially, Nell's aunt, who basically was trying to force this, pretty much sent her downstairs by accident, supposed to be her own daughter, to the library where Colton was drunk and the door was locked outside, and Colton slept with Helena, or Nell, but doesn't actually remember it. You can use the word sexual assault since obviously, but we're not going to go there. Okay. Right. Right. So, but I said, right, this bit here. Oh yes, £30 a year is more generous for a woman you're allowed to starve on the streets. £30 a year looked appalled. I used to pay my value more than that. Yes, but I suspect you valued his service. Right. Yeah, because what Colton did, okay, right, Colton had done the honourable thing, much he despised, had given her protection of his name. And even though he stayed well away from her for the next 2 years, till it was supposed he had died, he had housed her in comfortable comfort. He had been perplexed to find her in his cottage too, mentioned anoint her. Right. So, Colton, basically, when it was announced, okay, that Helena was having a baby, it basically kind of announced, it's not my child. It's not mine, okay? She's a whore. And then when Colton disappeared, they just kind of bundled her away and kind of forgot about her, left her to rot. And Colton doesn't really seem to apologise for this, okay? As he apologised for his absolute mistreatment of her. It's disgusting. He's a disgusting bastard. Right. And the fact is, okay, that everyone seems to get away with it. Right. Right. If only she could persuade Peregrine to just leave them alone, he could keep Lambert Hall, and she'd be tired of all she cared. As long as they were safe, she was sure that she, Colton, and Harry could carry on living quite happily here in this little cottage. Of all the things Colton had been through, it was him like luxury, and Peregrine could really want to have a murderer's conscience, could he? Oh no, but Peregrine does. Right. Right. But the fact is, okay, the squire, right, okay, they only get the squire involved, and he basically doesn't believe Helena, and calls her a whore, that's the squire. Then suddenly, okay, they kind of trick Peregrine to come with the pause and to confess his sins. And suddenly, he come at the door is Harry the vicar and the squire. Well, hey, now everyone knows. Everyone knows. And I'll just be, Miss Tierson warned me you about to what you about, but I did not believe her. Not until I heard you condemn yourself out of your own mouth. Yeah, totally ignoring the kid that you called Helena a goddamn slag to her face, but still, okay. But they get back together and it's all going to be restored. And Peregrine is going to give up the title and his gig gets away with it. It's going to disappear somewhere. You know, bugger off again to the continent and just continents and just, you know, do whatever. Who cares? Okay? Right. Right. And this bit here, okay. Outside in the passageway, Harry punched the air doing a silent dance of victory. He had a father, a proper father who would see how wonderful his ma was at last. They're going to live in a big house where there's much to eat as he could ever want and pay in the woods when I could tell him he was trespassing. Yeah, so everyone gets golden treats now like a piece of shit. Now, finding out, okay, that your flippant remarks is not my baby has such dire repercussions. The fact that she was cast basically to this small village, and Harry was like, Carlton was only there because he knew the person who lived there who previously, who kind of like could take care of him, to his kind of, you know, an old family friend. Finding out, okay, that the mother of your child was treated so deplorably because of your own actions, and he just seems to get away with it. It's despicable. He's an arsehole. So I felt like he's all kind of contained, okay, in one cottage. But at the same time, okay, Colton's a prick. Merry Christmas. Yeah, Colton's a prick. And now what Helena does way better. Then the guy basically seduced her while she was drunk, forgot it was all happened, made flippant remarks, okay, about it's not my kid, and these were the repercussions. So screw him. She deserves better. Hey, let's say if he died quite early from his injuries, she found a decent man and moved on. Right. Merry Christmas, everyone. Sign off here. Bye now.